Jimin, Taehyung called for his friend but got ignored instead. So he ran to him and gripped his wrist. Where do you think you are going, Jim? Taehyung asked whispered once he got him. Let me go, Jimin said while gritting his teeth. He was looking at Taehyung with his glare. His stare flashed with anger. Taehyung couldn't recognize him anymore. It's definitely not Jimin and not Jim either. Jay, Taehyung stuttered once he finally recognized that eyes. The way Jay's eyes squinted when he glared at Taehyung was like a pit viper's slit-like pupils. Taehyung gulped nervously and he immediately let go of his grip. He only stood there frozen while looking at Jay, who already walked away from him. Yes, he's scared of him. Jay was a hot headed person and stubborn, but he couldn't just let him go. He promised Jimin to keep his body safe from Jay because only God knew what he was doing out there. So he gathered his courage and ran to him, stopped him by standing in front of him. I will not let you go and let you do whatever you want with my friend's body. Jay just looked at him with his glare and said, Move, or I will beat you like before. Taehyung gulped as he remembered Jay did beat him just because he doesn't want to let him go. He was hospitalized for 1 week and got broken ribs because Jay almost beat him to death. That's why he was so scared of Jay, the most among Jimin's elders. It's not like the young can't fight him, but he felt bad to hit his friend, so he just let Jay beat him. He doesn't want Jimin to get more hurts. Jimin already suffered enough mentally and emotionally, so he doesn't want to hurt him physically. It was never Jimin's fault if Jay started to beat him. Please, Jay, stay, Taeyong said, almost begging. But Jay just walked past by him and ignored his pleadings. Taeyong still not gave up that easily, so he gripped Jay's hand. But the next thing happened was he got punched in his jaws, and that made him stumble back, shocked. Jay had punched him hard. Taehyung, Jungkook, who saw Taehyung, who already lied on the floor, ran to him. Other students who saw the incident were ready to took out their phone and started doing recording. Probably they will upload in their SNS with captions like E4 members are breaking apart. What happened to F4? Before Jimin punched Bright, now he punched Taehyung. What's his problem? Yes, no one knew the exact reasons why the son of Park punched Bright before, but that's one of the reasons why Bright doesn't want to hang out with them if Jimin was around. Go to hell, Jay said one last time before he walked away. But this time Jungkook stopped him. Stop ruining Jimin's image, he said as he recognized the altar. Do you think I care? Jay said, glaring at just walked and bumped Jungkook's shoulder on purpose. Jay stopped on his track and leaned to whisper. Don't worry, I'm not Changmin, who only thinks about suicide. He whispered and gave Jungkook a bracelet. It was Jimin's bracelet, which they put a GPS tracker inside the amulet. Jimin gave the idea so his family and his best friends could track his whereabouts just in case he never comes back. But how did Jin knew about the tracker? Some alters might have shared memories with one another, but some might not have any clue. It was probably just Jay's luck. Jay knew Jimin's parents were not at home at the moment, so it's easy for him to go back home to change his clothes from this ugly uniform. Jay went to Jimin's room, or could I say his room. Jay stripped his clothes and went to the closet only to find some old style clothes of him. Jay went to the bookshelves and pulled it open. It was a secret room where Jimin kept his entire secret about his disorder. This room was where they, people who knew about his disorder, studied about Jimin's alto. Jay found boxes in the corner of the room which had each of Jimin's alto's name on it. Jaemin, Jim, Changmin, Jimmy, and Jay. So he opened the box that had his name and found his belongings. Belongings inside. He wear his clothes, wristwatch, earrings, necklace, and wear the glasses. Then he went out from the house after took Jimin's car keys. He went to buy a cigarette because he is dying to smoke. Then he drove to somewhere. Jay was smoking when two guys approached him. Well, 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 look who's here. The man who looked slightly older than Jay said. Jay looked up and looked at the man and the other one in disgust. Do I know you too? He asked, annoyed. Both of the men looked at each other confused before they looked at Jay. So, this is how you play after I save you from suicide. What are you doing here, thinking about to kill yourself again? The man asked, and Jay doesn't need to ask more because he knew what the man means. The man probably already met Changman. How did you find me? Jay asked. Destiny, we don't know you are here. So just leave me alone, Jay said. Not that easily. Don't you miss us? We haven't met for such a long time. Where have you been? The other man asked. Just leave me alone, Jay said and stepped on his cigar. He was about to walk away, but the two men stopped him by blocking his way. Changman, Jay. My name is Jay. I don't really know who you are and I don't care. But can you just leave me alone? He said and looked up at two of them. They were slightly taller and bigger than him. Right, we haven't introduced ourselves too. I'm Lee. And I'm Huang. We need you in our gang, he said. I have never been agreed to be in your gang, but I saved you before, Lee said. You must return the favor. I never asked you to save me, he said and pushed them away. He walked past by them, but Lee gripped Jay's right hand and turned him around harshly. At the same time, Jimin's phone dropped to the ground. Huang took the phone and he saw the wallpaper. Who's she? He asked Jay and showed the wallpaper. Jay didn't know what to answer. He recognized the girl. It was the girl who stopped him when he was still at Jimin's university. Girlfriend? Lee asked, teasing. None of your business, Jay said and tried to take the phone but failed. Join our gang or we will do something bad to your cute girlfriend, Huang said, smoking. I don't know her. Do whatever you want, Jay said, getting annoyed. In the end, he just left them and Jimin's phone behind. As he was getting near towards the door, suddenly Lee attacked him by hitting Jay's head with the metal he found nearby. Jay's head bled as he was whimpered on the ground. What the fuck are you doing? Huang yelled at Lee. We need him. You're trying to kill him, Huang said, yelling and punched Lee's shoulder. He is not dead, don't worry, Lee said and smirked while looking at Jay, who slowly went unconscious. What are you going to do? Huang asked. Take Jay with us and also get that girl too. You want me to kidnap that girl? Wang said in disbelief and Lee just nodded. I don't know her name, house, or. Don't worry, Lee cut him. There's nothing that I can't do, he smirked. Can we just leave that girl alone? We got Jay here already. She must be someone so important to Jay. We will torture the girl until Jay agreed to join our gang, Lee said, smirking while talking about his plan. Winter, do you want to come with us? Bella asked to the tall girl who just got a new nickname of Song Hai Kyo from their seniors. Where? Shopping mall. You answered with a smile. Winter is your and Bella's classmate, your new friend, and also the moon of engineering faculty. Sorry, maybe next time. I already have planned. Win said to both of them, who pouted at the same time hearing Win's answer. When three of them looked at the source of voice and found Bright, who waved his hand towards Sven. Seems like you are close to senior Bright, Bella asked her curious. He's my boyfriend. What? Bella and you said, shocked. Vin bid her goodbye to you and Bella, who still couldn't process what they just heard. Both of them didn't blink and mouth slightly open, not until Taehyung waved his hand in front of the two. What's wrong with you two? Taehyung asked confused and you both just shook your heads. I'm sorry, I need to go now. Jackson is already waiting. Jungkook said to him and immediately walked away after whispering, sorry, can't help you to find Jimin. Jackson, where are they going? You asked as the mention of your cousin. A date, Taehyung said, and both of you and Bella showed their blank expression, the same one when he and Jungkook saw them being statue just now. They are boyfriends? Bella said, shocked. Oh no, they went on date with their girlfriends. You know, double date, because they are dating the Min sisters. Taeyong chuckled, understood both of your confusion, and both you and Bella yelled again at the same time. What? Why, you don't know Jackson is dating? Bella asked you. Of course not, he didn't tell me. Please keep this as a secret, Taehyung said, grinning. How about you, Sunbanam? Do you have someone? Bella asked him, and Taehyung shook his head in no time. I'm single. I think I have no time to fall in love because I will be busy taking care of this one person. Who? It's nothing. Where are you two going after this? Taehyung asked, try to change the subject. Shopping mall. Do you want to join us? Bella asked, grinning. I want to, but not now. I have to find Jimin. Sorry. Taeyong said and ruffled Bella's hair when he saw Bella pouted. I'm going now. Bye. He said and bid goodbye. It was almost 7 p.m. when you got home. You and Bella had been spent hours at the mall playing games, karaoke, eating desserts, and then going to shopping. You were not sure if it was just your feeling or what, but you could feel there was someone who had been watching you since at the mall. But you tried to ignore the feeling. You went to your bedroom and immediately video called with your parents. You are 23-year-old adult, but your parents still called you little sweetie. Your other friends often got jealous at how your parents treated you. You could get whatever you wanted with just flick of fingers. But as you grown up, you realize that your parents were babying you too much and you wasn't happy about it. After 1 hour of the video calling with your parents, you ended the call and promised to call them tomorrow because you were so exhausted. You needed a warm bath right now before going to bed. You was about to strap your clothes when you get startled when hear the breaking sound of glasses. You gulped scaredly as you went to open the door, not forgetting to take your inhaler with you. Just being a cautious person you are. You tried to calm yourself or else you would get panic attack or worse asthma attack. You opened the door slowly and peeked your head out looking outside but there was no one. You made your way downstairs to the hall. Mrs. Shen, you called the maid but no one replied. Then you went downstairs and found the breaking vase. Suddenly your mouth was covered with a cloth and you felt so weak to fight back because the person was much stronger than you. You tried to struggle, but the chloroform was too intense, it seems to seep into your nostrils and mouth. Then you went unconscious. Taehyung drove Bella to your house as soon as your maid answered her call saying that you were kidnapped last night. As soon as she arrived at your house, police were already there. Why, Ryan? They can't take her. Ryan is sick. Bella cried as soon as she heard what happened last night. There was someone break in last night and kidnapped you while the maid was being unconscious because the smell of chloroform. Taeyong hugged the small girl tightly. He was there talking with Bella when Bella received the news and decided to drive him to your house. He shushed her calmly. Please find her soon. She is sick. She has asthma. Bella said to the police once she calmed down a little. You didn't know how long you have been in a deep sleep. You woke up with your heart thumped really fast. You felt deadly cold. You opened your eyes and being greeted by unfamiliar places. You try to calm yourself. If you got asthma attack, it was probably the end of your life. Even though your disease was not very serious, you doesn't want to risk your life. You was in a room, sitting on a wooden chair with your body, hands and legs being tied up to the chair. But that's not what shocked you the most. You was more shocked to see your senior Jimin who also being tied up to a chair which was just opposite to you. Jimin's condition looked worse. His head had bandaged and his shirt is stained with red liquid. Is that blood? You gulped nervously. You are scared of thinking what might happen to you now. You bit your lips and blinked your eyes couple of times to avoid shedding tears. Sunbae, Sunbae Nam, are you okay? You called, try to wake him up. He is not dead, right? No matter how much pain you got because of how Jimin treated you yesterday, but still you doesn't like to see him being so hopeless like this. Jimin, you tried to yell a bit louder. Uh, Jimin groaned as he woke up from his deep sleep. Oh my god, my head. He whimpered in pain. You looked worried because Jimin looked like he was feeling sick so much. When he started to whimper and groaned, you just looked at him worriedly. Jimin, you called. Jimin looked up and blinked his eyes until his sight getting clear. He started panicking as he realized where he was. Where am I? What happened? Why I got tied up? Who are you? He asked, getting scared, but his last questions made your heart hurt once again, just like yesterday. Are you okay, Jimin? You asked him. Try to ignore the pain in your heart. How did you know my name? Who are you? Jimin asked, and your eyes went widen. You don't remember me? You asked. You thought that Jimin had amnesia because of the injuries of his head, but then he recognized his own name when you called just now. So why did Jimin couldn't remember you? Same like yesterday. You looked at him confused and felt weird. You could felt there was definitely something wrong with your senior. Why are we here? Who did this? He asked you. Suddenly you both heard the footsteps outside, then the door opened. Both you and Jimin got frozen on their spot, waiting to see who the person was. Hey, good morning, the man Lee said, and cheerfully looking at both you and Jimin. He closed the door behind him and walked to you. He crouched down in front of you and put his hands on your thighs as he stared at you. You was getting uncomfortable the way Lee stared at you, and he was mute with horror. Your eyes are pretty and you're so beautiful, he commented while still looking at your face. You could only gulp nervously and avoid the stare. Who are you? Why you did this to me? Let me go. Jimin yelled and tried to release himself from the tight rope, but of course it was just useless. Lee stood up and looked at Jimin's weirdness. Did I hit your head too hard until you can't remember me, Jay? Lee asked, and Jimin's eyes widened looking at the man as he mentioned the name. Same goes with you, who only looked puzzled at Jimin. What do you want from me? Jimin asked. I already told you I want you to join our gang, he said, and Jimin's eyes went widen once again. And what if I won't? Then Lee halted as he looked towards you. I will torture your cute girlfriend. Jimin and you looked at each other, shocked and confused. Girlfriend? Whose girlfriend? You are is Jay's girlfriend? Seriously, one of his alters is having a girlfriend. Jimin was screaming in his mind, confused. I think you are mistaken here. I'm not his girlfriend. You said to leave. So please let me go. You think I'm stupid? Lee yelled, and that made both Jimin and you startled. If you two still want to play this who are you games and pretending to not knowing each other, fine. If that's what you want, he said and walked towards you. You gulped scaredly and started to get panic when Lee suddenly bent down and put his hand on your cheeks. What are you doing? You gasped when Lee suddenly leaned towards your neck and sniffed, then kissed your neck. You smell good, pretty lady, Lee said seductively with his deep voice before he started to suck your neck. You whimpered. You bit your lips to prevent any weird sound come out from your mouth when Lee started to molest you. Even if you tried to squirm and twist your body away from Lee's gaze and touch, the rope that binds you to the chair was too restrictive, not allowing you to move even a millimeter away from his touch. Your cheeks are already wet because of your tears. You begged him to stop, but Lee just bit your hard. You felt so hopeless. Adrenaline bumped through your body and your panic increased. You almost got asthma attack because you couldn't breathe calmly with Lee's weight on top of you. But then Lee stopped his action when Jimin suddenly yelled him to stop. Jimin don't know what mess he is into right now. He didn't know what was happening or what did Jade just do. How could he involve with a gang? And about the girl, he don't know who's the girl but girlfriend. Are you and Jay seeing each other? But the girl knew his name. Did Jay pretending to be Jimin? Jimin clenched his jaws as he saw the big guy is kissing girl's neck. He didn't care about your pleats. The girl was whimpered and sobbed hard. Jimin couldn't just stay still and watched him ruin the innocent girl. Stop it! Jimin yelled, and the big guy stopped whatever he was doing to the poor girl. Fine, I will do whatever you want me to do, but please let her go, he said to the big guy. You shouldn't play hard to get, he said as he stood straight. If you do that in the first place, I'll never touch your cute girlfriend here, he said, smirking as he looked at the girl who was still sobbing. Jimin felt guilty looking at girl. Whoever you are, Jimin owed you his apology. He don't know what your relationship with Jay is, but you shouldn't be involved with them because they are monsters.